Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with the US President Donald Trump was important for three reasons. Number one, this is the second meeting that he had with the US President at a time when the UN General Assembly is in session after the major Howdy event, Modi event, which Donald Trump attended, and he described Prime Minister as somebody who is equal to Elvis Presley or somebody. He even said that your Prime Minister is like father of India and he's like a unifier of sorts. So that was a major thing coming from Donald Trump. Obviously he likes adjectives. I asked Donald Trump about the issue of terrorism from Pakistan and how Pakistan is the epicenter. He obviously had a response to it, describing that they consider Iran as the number one terror country, but certainly Pakistan is on that list. So that was the other thing, because out of the 40-minute meeting that the two leaders had at the UN, almost half was devoted in talking about terrorism, and both countries realized that terrorism poses a big challenge to both of them. The third thing was, how do you take this relationship forward? Because President Trump realizes that India is an important partner for the US, for trade, for economic cooperation, and also they can together handle global challenges. So that was the other big takeaway. Overall, if you ask me, this meeting has led to sending out a big signal to the world that India-US relations have come a long way. And under Trump and Prime Minister Modi, you have a new strategic dawn of sorts.
स्वयं समय निकाल करके आए, काफी समय दिया, और अमेरिका में रहने वाले भारतीयों के लिए ये बहुत ही गर्व का अवसर था, और मैं इसके लिए राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। दुनिया का सबसे पुराना लोकतंत्र और दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र, इसके बीच इस प्रकार की निकटता, सहजता और लगातार एंगेजमेंट, ये लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों में विश्वास करने वाले विश्व के लिए एक बहुत ही शुभ संकेत है।
Well, my personal chemistry is as good as it can get. I have great respect, I have great admiration, and I really like him. That's another thing. And he's a great gentleman and a great leader. And I remember India before, now not intimately, but I remember India before, and it was very torn. There was a lot of dissension, a lot of fighting, and he brought it all together. Like a father would bring it together. And maybe he's the father of India. We'll call him the father of India. I think that's not so bad. But he brought things together, and you don't hear that anymore. So I think he's done a fantastic job. And I think that what the event showed is how much I like the country of India, and how much I like your Prime Minister. There was tremendous spirit in that room, too. And they love this gentleman to my right. They really do. Those people went crazy. That was like Elvis. That was like an American. He's like an American version of Elvis. It was like we brought in the middle of an all-American deal. Elvis Presley came back. He was. That was quite something. They love your Prime Minister. It's a great thing.
You're talking about, clamping down on terrorism from across the globe. Pakistan has been the global epicenter of terrorism, sir. You spoke about it in Houston. How do you make sure that you clamp down on terrorism from Pakistan? Because that is posing threat to democracies like the US and India. Even the business interests suffer because of continuing terrorism.
Well, I had a very good meeting with Prime Minister Khan. It was a long meeting, and we discussed a lot. And I think he'd like to see something happen that would be very fruitful, very peaceful. And I think that will happen ultimately. I really believe that these two great gentlemen will get together and work something. I also, you mentioned Pakistan, but Iran would have to be at the top of the list, because if you look at terrorist states, that's been the number one for a long time. But I really believe that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Khan, they get along, they will get along when they get to know each other, and I think a lot of good things will come from that meeting.